if there's an expiry, will it be worthless to you?
Definitely. That's why I don't take degree.
In today's SG Now, should degrees from local universities come up with an expiry date? Can we conquer our innermost fears? Our dynamic duo, Kathleen and Syah, discover a newfound love for art. And CityJo Syah meets up with Singapore's foremost watercolourist, Ong Kim Seng. Hi everyone, welcome to SG Now. Today's episode finds me hosting alone. Our other presenters are all serving stay-home notices, but don't worry, they're all vaccinated and fine and will be back next week. In the meantime, I'm happy to be hosting what is essentially a Hey Go special. All our stories today come from CityJo's Kathleen and Syah, with a little help from their CityJo friends. We kick off with the issue of time-stamped degrees. On March 1st, MP for West Coast GRC Ang Wei Neng floated the idea that local degrees should be time-stamped, requiring a revalidation exam every 5 years. Well, Kathleen and her fellow CityJos took to the streets to find out what Singaporeans feel about this radical idea. Let's check it out.
I spent 4 years on my degree, and someone told me that it's going to be taken away in 5 years. Recently, members of parliament suggest local university degrees should have an expiry timestamp of 5 years. It can be renewed by graduates if they attend upgrading courses once every 5 years or so. What do you say? Is it ridiculous? Does it sound scary? Me and my CityJos will hit the streets to see how people are thinking. So recently, members of parliament suggested university degrees should have an expiry date. What do you think about that? Do you think that's stupid or ridiculous?
If you want to say the degree actually to expire totally, that is stupid lah.
For example, if you're talking about professional degree, like doctors, lawyers, are you telling me, let's say for lawyers, you change the law every 5 years? Doesn't make sense.
I think personally, I'm currently a uni student, so I feel like this is kind of unfair to most uni grads and also those that have already graduated or currently studying, because after 5 years, right, your degree is worth nothing and it destroys the effort that we have built up over the few years.
Honestly, I would be like so angry because like that whole time I would be like studying my ass off just to graduate university. Then I have to retake exams just to like renew my certificate. I don't know, it seems like it's like a waste of time.
And also medical, of course there are improvements and all this, but if you are just a family doctor, do you need to keep doing your degree or you are totally upgrading? So who decides and how to upgrade? It's not so simple. If today, you are telling me the degree has got an expiry date, then in the past, what are all the degrees for?
I mean, just as a person, I think you have to continue learning. So should that be the government that's requiring you to do that? Like for me, I think that's just a personal, a personal pursuit that you should have as a productive human being. I don't know if it's necessary for the government to tell you how to live your life.
How will it impact Singapore?
I know a lot of people are unhappy about it, right? So I feel like certain people might choose not to take a degree, but they will like just stop at diploma. Yeah.
I think it would definitely raise our ability and competencies in terms of what we can deliver. But at the same time, I think we also need to have the resources to be able to support that. Because it would then involve hours and it would involve resources and financial investments. Right? So I think that part needs to be in place as well to make it happen.
They might have to pay more in terms of either tuition fees or for exam entrance fees as well, and also it will make choosing potential job interviewers will be very hard stuck because they have to make sure that whoever we hire they still have a feasible amount of time left on their university thing before they have to go and refresh it, because if they go and refresh it they might have to take some time off, and that might impact our productivities.
Okay, so do you think this will diminish the value of a university education?
Sorry?
Do you think it will decrease the value of a university education?
I don't think it will decrease the value. But like I said, people wouldn't want to take the degree anymore. It's still a fact that, having a degree will offer you a better paying job. Yeah.
If there's an expiry, will it be worthless to you?
Definitely. That's why I don't take degree.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so, because it will mean that whatever that they've learned, that it lasts for only 5 years, whatever they've learned, so that they have to keep going back and keep doing it. Of course, it will mean that the value that now, instead of being it for the rest of your life, now it only means that it's up to a 5 year. Yes, of course, a 5 year of value.
I think it will increase the value of it, since a universal degree that only lasts 5 years would be harder to get, and it will be lesser people with that degree since it doesn't last forever. That's my personal opinion.
So upgrading these people in this industry that are affected, they go for upgrading. I think I can understand that, but it doesn't make sense for across the board everybody that is expired. I think such questions shouldn't even be brought out in parliamentary.
I just finished my 5-year upgrade. I can rest easy now, maybe find a job. This has been Kathleen for Singapore 1. Yay! Oh wait, I think maybe I need that.
So sorry, Mr. Ang Wei Neng. It doesn't look like your suggestion is going to fly, sir. Our next story concerns our biggest fears, public opinion gatherers. YouGov provides some rather interesting findings on the variety of topics which are tracked and collated by them. Their recent findings on Singaporeans' greatest fears are no exception. According to their survey, the number one fear among Singaporeans is drowning, followed by fire, reptiles, and cockroaches. Picking up from them, CityJo Kathleen explores the science behind some of our biggest fears and tests some willing volunteers on her very own version of Fear Factor.
Ophidiophobia, the fear of snakes. Arithmophobia, a fear of numbers.
Do you ever wonder about the signs of fears and why we have them? Follow me today as we uncover what causes fear and, possibly how to overcome them.
What would you do if you encounter a giant spider? Or would you draw a line at being buried alive? A cool 21st century fear is the fear of missing out. There are even people afraid of bicycles.
Fear starts in the part of the brain called the amygdala. It triggers a fear response and reaction that starts in the brain and spreads through the body. In short, flight, fright, or freeze.
I invited two brave souls to our studio to ask them about their fears.
Hi, my name is Regine and I'm scared of bicycles. When I see a bicycle coming towards me, I would be very scared. I would either freeze on the spot and not move at all, or I would have some sudden reaction towards it, because I think I'm very scared of someone else on a bicycle coming towards me.
Also, would you feel uncomfortable if we let you watch near accidents of bicycles?
Yeah, that one I'm very scared of. I'll be like, it would just make me more traumatized. Yeah.
So do you think we can let you watch?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Alright. Any thoughts and comments on the question?
These are mostly like car hitting the bikes though. I mean, they make me feel like, of course, quite uncomfortable in the fact that, why are these cars being quite reckless, but at least it's on a designated driving road. But I mean, I feel very sympathetic for the people here. I'm just not very traumatized by this video.
Hi, I'm Anmol and I'm 20 years old this year. My two phobias are darkness and deep ocean. It makes me feel uncomfortable as I start to overthink.
Okay, so we switched off the light briefly. Does it make you feel the least bit uncomfortable, or is this still fine?
It's fine.
Okay, let's take it a notch down. How about now? How about now?
It's starting to get scary. I feel like I'm in a set of like a horror film right now. Okay, it's because of my fear of ghosts, because since young I like to watch a lot of ghost movies.
Notch down. Would you be okay if we exit? So we're going to leave you alone in darkness and see how you do, okay?
Okay.
That'll be okay, right?
Yeah.
You'll be okay?
Yeah, I hope so.
Are you ready to try to overcome your fear?
I have no choice.
Okay, we'll see you in 3 minutes.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh god, why did we sign up for this? The worst thing is that there are so many furnitures and like equipment in this room. It's gonna attack me from behind. Is it only 3 minutes left? It's coming. No.
Hello?
It's been 3 minutes already.
Were you scared?
Yeah.
Were your senses more awake?
Yeah. I could hear like the doors outside, like the screeching sounds, and then like someone walking. Oh, very scared, and definitely made me have.
You're still insecure now?
That was a very uncomfortable and nerve-wracking experience.
Do you think if you were exposed more times to darkness that you might one day get over the fear?
I don't think so.
Ever?
No.
Other than my personal emotional fears, I don't quite have any physical fears. So I consulted with a psychologist, Aura Santos, a clinical psychologist, to ask about why we have fears and how to overcome them.
So there is a difference between phobia and fear?
Yes, there is definitely a difference. We'll have fear, yes, but we can live to that. A phobia interferes with your everyday life. It's like you're not able to handle that.
Okay, interesting. That's what I did not know. I thought fears and phobia is almost the same. Is there a way to overcome fear and phobia?
Yes, sure. The important thing is first recognize that you are scared about it, because sometimes we don't believe, like, we maybe know that we have fear about it, but maybe we don't want to deal with that. So it's always important to recognize that. Then, look for help, because we are not capable to deal with everything by ourselves. We need help. In the case, for example, when it's a phobia, that you go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, analyze the symptoms that, for example, for how long did you experience in the past? It's important always going to the past, because the past is going to tell us if there is a relationship to that. Sometimes go to the past to see if there is a relationship on it or not. Once you recognize the causes, if it's something like a phobia, one of the things is education the people about it, so they can understand about the fear, about the phobia. In order for you to get over a fear, you need to deal with that, and we all sometimes don't have the capacity in the moment to do it, but we have to.
According to Aura, fear is sometimes caused by traumatic events. Intervention is possible, but she first starts seeking out the root of the problem. For people to overcome their fears, technique may differ from person to person. This is because people have different ways of coping.
It is mind over matter. This has been Kathleen for Singapore One.
Wow, it's good to know that most phobias can be overcome with professional help. And a quick shout out to Regina and Agmo, our willing test subjects. Thanks for being brave enough to face all your fears. We're gonna stick with Kathleen for our next story as she teams up with fellow CityJo Syah and forms the dynamic duo, better known as the Hey Girls. Here, the Hey Girls belatedly celebrate Singapore Art Week by exploring their inner Picassos.
So, Kat, Singapore Art Week just ended like last week. Did you go? Did you celebrate it?
No, I didn't. Did you?
I didn't also, and I think it's such a shame that I didn't. But what do you say we do a belated celebration of the arts, our art skills? Because we are part of Singapore, right? And yeah, I think we got some art skills to celebrate. What do you say?
Do you even have art skills, Syah?
What? Of course I do. I'm great at art. I'm great at painting. I can do it so well.
Okay, well, I can tell you that I'm quite horrible at art, so we can try.
Yeah, we can try. So let's try painting the landscape today and see where it takes us and see if it's good enough. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Okay, what about we paint the tree? Okay, and some of the flowers there. All right, and the Singapore flyer. Since it's like Singapore Art Week, so like what is more iconic than that? Okay, so today we are gonna be using the watercolor paints that I have and
brushes.
We have tons of brushes, the fluffy ones and the flat ones, and
Syah brought her artistic easel thing.
It's a palette.
Palette.
Yeah, and okay, are you ready to start? Okay, so you just dip your brush in the water, I think. Yeah.
We used watercolor paint because we thought it would be easier, but it definitely takes practice to blend the colors and find the right water paint ratio. Kat and I definitely had very different painting styles, and we finished painting under the shade while enjoying the cupcakes. So what do you think? Would you buy our paintings?
My failed attempt of the landscape, but at least I tried, a failed Ferris wheel.
This is mine. I didn't attempt drawing the Singapore flyer because I was scared. I thought I was gonna screw it up. I was scared, so I just didn't draw the Singapore flyer. But look at this one. Look! I did a slow sign. You can see that. It's cute, and I put a lamppost and all the flowers also. Alright, so we finished painting, and what do you think, Kat? What do you think of the painting?
I'm not sure.
I think it looks good. I think they both look decent. I mean, for a first timer, it's not too bad, right?
It's okay. I sort of tried attempting a Ferris wheel, but I think it failed a little bit.
No, I think it looks exactly like the one there. It looks so good, Kat. Come on, give yourself credit. Alright, we're gonna ask the street to see what they think about painting and whether they will buy a painting from us. Yeah, okay. This one is nicer? Oh, okay, both. Alright, thank you. Girl, can I ask you a quick question? Which one do you think is nicer? Oh no! Would you buy the painting?
Yeah, how much will you buy for? 100?
Wow, really? Oh my gosh, you're being too nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, bye-bye. Hi girls, can I ask you a quick question? Which do you think is... Yeah.
Oh, they're both delightful. They're both good. But I like this one for Singapore.
Right.
Yeah, it's got the wheel.
Okay, that's great. Would you buy the painting?
No.
Alright, thank you. See you. Okay, so not bad, Kat. People are actually quite okay with our painting. They're not like disgusted by it. So I guess that's good.
Yeah, but we didn't manage to make a sale today.
Yeah. No, someone wanted to buy mine for 100
Yeah,
bucks.
okay, I didn't make a sale today.
Okay, so why don't the next time we paint, we actually study more about it or learn from someone?
Yeah, maybe take some lessons.
Yeah, maybe we should do that. Yeah. This has been CityJo Syah
and CityJo Kath.
So let's not let our artistic side die.
I think someone offering $100 for Syah's picture probably inspired her to find out more about the industry from one of Singapore's top watercolourists.
So as I was scrolling through my TikTok earlier, I came across quite a few really beautiful watercolor paintings, and I realized that we have a multi-award winning watercolor painter right here in Singapore. His name is Ong Kim Seng, and he is the president of the Singapore Watercolor Painting Society. So today I'm going to meet up with him to find out how he became one of the most eminent watercolor painters in the world. So we have Mr. Ong Kim Seng here with us today. So thank you so much for having us today. Can you tell us a little bit more about what got you into painting in the first place? How did you start?
Well, I mean, since young I loved to paint, to the extent that I even more or less neglected my studies. My mother was very annoying and in fact was against me painting, you know. Since young I painted. So it was only up to secondary school that I knew about all the methods, the techniques, of course through my art teacher.
Yeah.
So we have a few art teachers who taught us art. And through the secondary school, I began to participate in exhibitions, inter-school exhibitions. And as a result, I won awards. And I remember that my first painting that I sold was way back in 1962. That was my first work.
Yeah.
And that was actually a great motivation to me. You know.
How did you feel when you managed to successfully sell a painting to someone?
Well, I mean, of course, it's more or less like striking a lottery. You know, that somebody has appreciated your work. The first time that I saw people painting watercolor was an old artist who was painting a temple. So I began to say, well, what is this medium, you know, that is so easy to move around, you know. But in oil, it's always so cumbersome. You've got so many things to carry. You got so much equipment to do. So that's how I get started to learn about watercolor.
Okay.
Then,
was there any point in your life or when you wanted to paint and then you reached like maybe an artist's block where you don't know what you're supposed to paint and you can't seem to paint anything?
of course, this thing happens most of the time. It happens. Sometimes we may go to a scene and we find that there is nothing interesting.
Yeah.
Because what sets an artist to paint is to ask yourself, what is so interesting about this place that make you to paint? So you put that in your in that scene, and you ask yourself, what's the interesting part?
Yeah.
So normally the artist will start a painting with the most interesting part, and that's how you build up your painting.
Right. So for people who want to get into watercolor painting, what kind of advice do you have for us?
Now, the first requirement of painting watercolor is that you must know how to draw. So before you know how to draw, you must learn how to sketch. So sketching, drawing, then the next step is painting. So painting, you've got to have a knowledge of the colors.
Right.
The basic colors, that is the primary colors. The thing that shows you get the inputs that goes into your brain.
Yeah.
And you start developing from there that, oh, that's a green that I see. So how green is green? The sky is blue. How blue is blue? So you have to interpret in that sense. That's where the aesthetics knowledge of the person comes into the picture.
When you paint, do you paint with the intention to sell, or do you normally paint with the intention, this is how I express myself?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I think that painting with the intention to sell will not give you always the best work. Because you have an intention to sell it. It becomes something very commercial.
Right.
You paint what you like first. You paint what you feel first.
After meeting up with Ong Kim Seng, I realized that it takes years and years of practice and learning to master watercolor painting, and I really admire the effort and the work that is being put into all his paintings, and I can see why they are all sold in the thousands. This has been CityJo Syah. Be patient in the process of your learning. One day you will get there.
Be patient in the process of your learning. Good advice. And with those wise words, we come to the end of this episode of SG Now. Thanks for spending your time with me today. And please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. See you soon. Thank you. Bye. Cheers.